Hello everyone, and welcome to the History of the Ancient World channel. Today we're embarking on a journey back in time, not just to look at grand monuments and epic battles, but to explore something far more intimate and universal: life and death. How did our ancient ancestors navigate the world? What were their daily joys, their deepest fears, and how did they face the ultimate certainty of death? From the bustling streets of Rome to the serene banks of the Nile, and from the philosophical debates in Athens to the vast plains of Mesopotamia, every culture had its own unique approach to the cycle of life. What did it mean to be born a Roman citizen versus a Spartan warrior? How did an Egyptian farmer view his existence compared to a Chinese scholar under the Han dynasty? These weren't just abstract ideas, they were the very fabric of daily reality, shaping everything from family structures and social hierarchies to the food they ate and the gods they worshipped. Let's start in ancient Egypt, a civilization famously obsessed with the afterlife. For the Egyptians, life on earth was merely a prelude, a preparatory stage for an eternal journey. This belief wasn't just for the pharaohs, it permeated every level of society. Think about the incredible effort that went into mummification. This wasn't just a morbid ritual, it was a practical necessity. They believed the soul, or ka, needed a recognizable physical body to return to in the afterlife. So the careful preservation of the body, the removal of organs, and the wrapping in linen were all vital steps to ensure eternal life. The Book of the Dead, a collection of spells and instructions, acted as a guide for the deceased through the treacherous underworld known as the duat. The ultimate test was the weighing of the heart ceremony. Here the deceased's heart was weighed on a scale against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and justice. If the heart was lighter than the feather, it meant the person had lived a righteous life and would be granted entry into the blissful field of reeds. But if it was heavy with sin, it would be devoured by the terrifying beast Amit, and the soul would cease to exist. This powerful concept of divine judgment deeply influenced daily morality. The fear of oblivion was a potent motivator to live an ethical and balanced life. Now let's travel to ancient Greece, where the perspective on life and death was quite different. The Greeks celebrated life with a passion and intensity that is still palpable today. They cherished human potential, reason, beauty, and physical prowess. Life was meant to be lived to the fullest in the here and now. Their philosophy, their art, their theatre, it all reflects a profound engagement with the mortal world. The Greek afterlife, known as Hades, was a stark contrast to the Egyptian field of reeds. For most, it was a gloomy, shadowy realm, a place of listless existence where souls wandered as mere shades of their former selves. It wasn't a place of punishment for the average person, but it was certainly not something to look forward to. Even the great hero Achilles, when Odysseus meets him in the underworld, says he would rather be a poor servant on earth than a king among the dead. This sentiment highlights the Greek emphasis on the tangible, vibrant experience of living. Life was the prize. Death was the end of the story, not the beginning of a new one. This is why earthly glory, or kleos, achieved through great deeds and remembered by future generations, was so incredibly important. It was the only true form of immortality. Next, we journey to the mighty Roman Empire. The Romans, practical and pragmatic as ever, had a view of life and death that was heavily influenced by the Greeks, but with their own distinct flavor. For the Romans, the family, or familia, was the cornerstone of society. Life was structured around duty. Duty to the state, to the gods, and above all, to one's ancestors. A Roman's identity was deeply tied to their lineage. Death, for the Romans, was a public and familial affair. Elaborate funeral processions would wind through the streets, complete with professional mourners and actors wearing the wax masks of the deceased's ancestors, connecting the newly departed with their long line of predecessors. This practice, known as the imagines, reinforced the family's legacy and social standing. The Roman afterlife was similarly vague, much like the Greek Hades. while some believed in a shadowy underworld. Others, particularly the educated elite, influenced by philosophies like Stoicism, focused on living a virtuous life and accepting death as a natural part of the cosmic order. The emphasis was less on a paradise to come and more on leaving a legacy of honor and contributing to the greatness of Rome. Of course, these are just snapshots. In ancient Mesopotamia, people feared being forgotten after death, leaving offerings of food and water at family graves to keep the spirits of the dead from becoming malevolent. In ancient China, ancestor worship was central, with the belief that the spirits of ancestors could influence the fortunes of the living. Proper burials and continued reverence were essential for maintaining harmony between the worlds of the living and the dead. What becomes clear is that while death is a biological constant, its meaning is shaped entirely by culture. The way these ancient societies confronted their mortality tells us so much about what they valued most in life. Whether it was the Egyptian quest for eternal justice, the Greek pursuit of earthly glory, or the Roman dedication to family and duty, their views on death are a powerful lens through which we can understand their civilizations. Studying how ancient people lived and died isn't just an academic exercise. It connects us to our shared human story. It reminds us that across thousands of years, people have grappled with the same fundamental questions we do today. What is the purpose of our lives? What happens after we die? And how do we make our time on this earth meaningful? The answers they found, carved in stone, written on papyrus, and passed down through generations, continue to echo into our modern world. They are a testament to the enduring human spirit in the face of the ultimate unknown. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through life and death in antiquity. If you found this exploration fascinating, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the History of the Ancient World channel for more deep dives into the past. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. Until next time, stay curious.